I've been gaming for nearly 40 years, long enough to remember when games came on cassette tapes, long enough to remember when blowing dusts out of cartridges, and long enough to remember when 3D graphics felt like science fiction. I've watched gaming grow from a niche hobby that most people didn't understand into the biggest entertainment industry on Earth. I've lived through the Commodore 64, the Sega Mega Drive, the Sony PlayStation, the rise of PC gaming, online multiplayer gaming, MMOs, battle passes, live services. And somewhere along the way, gaming changed. But I think something else changed too. Me. Because after nearly 4 decades of gaming, I don't play for the same reasons I used to. And strangely enough, I think I've ended up right back where I started. My gaming story starts when I was around 8 years old. My parents bought me a Commodore 64. Looking back now, it was probably a slightly significant purchase for my family. Gaming wasn't mainstream. Consoles weren't in every household. This was something special. And if you're old enough to remember it, you'll know that loading a game wasn't as simple as pressing a button. You'd put the cassette tape in, set it to exactly the right position, press play, cross your fingers and wait. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And somehow that was just part of the experience. One of the first games I remember loving was Seaside Special. I used to play with my older sister, and honestly, I don't remember much about the game itself, but I remember the feeling. I remember sitting together, sharing the experience, laughing, competing, spending time together. That's funny when you think about it, because all those years later, that's still the one thing I value the most. But if I'm being honest, the Commodore 64 didn't make me a gamer. The Sega Master System did. That's where the obsession started. Alex the Kid, Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. This is where games that grabbed me. The first games that felt magical. The first games that made me think about them when I wasn't playing. And every gamer has that one boss they remember. Forget Elden Ring, forget Dark Souls. For me, it was the Chocolate Man from Castle of Illusion. This was my first real gaming wall. My first, how on earth do I beat this moment? I probably failed a dozen times. But that was part of what made gaming special. The challenge, the mastery. The sense that there was always something just beyond your reach. And when you finally overcome it, it felt incredible. Not because someone gave you a reward, not because of battle pass leveling up, because you earned it. Then came the Sega Mega Drive, and this is where something important happened. Gaming became social. Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, hours spent sitting beside friends or family, working towards a shared goal, not talking through a headset, not sitting in different houses, actually sitting next to each other, sharing victories, sharing failures, sharing snacks, sharing frustration. There was something special about that, and I don't think we fully appreciate it. Technology improved, the internet connected us, but those early co-op experiences created something unique, a feeling that would stay with me for decades, even if I didn't realize it at the time. Then came the console that changed everything for me, the original PlayStation. I begged my parents for it. Absolutely begged, and when I finally got one, it felt like stepping into the future. Suddenly, games were 3D, characters had voices, worlds felt alive, and then there was Gran Turismo. I don't think younger gamers fully appreciate what games represented. Before Gran Turismo, racing games were racing games. After Gran Turismo, racing games became simulations. The attention to detail, the cars, the progression, it felt serious. Gaming was growing up, and so was I. Then PC gaming entered my life, and honestly, this still might be my favourite era. Half-Life 2. To this day, very few gaming experiences have matched what it feels like playing the game for the first time. The atmosphere, the storytelling, the world building. It wasn't just a game, it felt like a place. And Half-Life 2 led me somewhere else, online gaming. Frontline Force, for those of you who remember, Counter-Strike, hours and hours of Counter-Strike, an unhealthy number of hours if I'm being completely honest. And around the same time, games exploded. Halo, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, GTA, Forza, Gears of War. It felt like every year developed another masterpiece. Technology was advancing so quickly, studios were getting bigger budgets, dreams were becoming reality, and as gamers, we were spoiled. Then something shifted, gradually at first, then all at once. Gaming stopped being about buying a game and started becoming about retaining attention. Battle passes, daily challenges, seasonal rewards, login bonuses, engagement systems. The goal wasn't simply about making a great game anymore. The goal became about keeping players engaged for as long as possible. And I understand why. Gaming became a business, a massive business. But for players like me, something felt different. Not necessarily worse, just different. Because suddenly games wanted my attention even when I wasn't playing them. And that's a difficult thing to balance when you're older. We have work, family, responsibilities, a life outside of gaming. Which brings me to what I'm mostly playing these days, games like DayZ. Because after all these years, I've realised something. I don't play games for the same reasons anymore. When I was young, gaming was about discovery. Then it became about competition. Then it became about progression. Today it's about experiences. It's about stories. It's about moments. The random encounter, the shared survival experience, the unexpected friendship. The disaster that somehow becomes the best memory of the night. DayZ reminds me of those early Mega Drive days. Not because the games are similar, they're not, but because the feeling is similar, working towards something together, a shared experience. The funny thing is, after nearly 40 years of gaming, I think I've ended right back where I started, not looking for bigger rewards, not chasing battle passes, not trying to keep up, just looking for the same thing that made me fall in love with gaming in the first place, a sense of adventure, a shared experience, and a memorable story. Maybe that's why I still love this hobby after all these years. Because despite all of the technology, despite all of the changes, despite everything gaming has become, at its best, it's still about people. It's still about experiences, and it's still capable of creating memories that stay with you for a lifetime. I've shared my gaming journey, now I'd love to hear yours. What was the game that made you a gamer? Was it a Commodore 64? Was it a Nintendo? Was it a Sega? Was it a PlayStation? Or was it something entirely different? Let me know in the comments. And if you've grown up alongside gaming like I have, consider subscribing, because that's what Superfly Games is really about. Not just games, but the people who grow up playing them.